Hey there, so this is just going to be a quick little video which will get you up to speed on the things that have been added to Hallows End this time round. Now, there's no new content. You'll still be getting your tricky treats, whatever the hell they're called, by doing the various daily quests, dealing with the Headless Horseman, doing them once a day, and then, of course, doing all of the little candy bucket things that are gathered, around the various inns of Azeroth. So, all that gameplay is the same, but we have a whole bunch of new rewards. Though, first of all, I just want to point something out. The gear from the Headless Horseman has actually been increased to item level 540 this time round. This is a really, really big increase, and if some of that gear is useful for your character, then absolutely be sure to run this, because it's going to help you out. Especially, it's very nice having a 540 one-handed sword there, and that could be useful for a lot of classes, and I know that especially once you've been doing your level 90 boost and all that stuff, it's actually kind of tricky to get a weapon. And that's why I included a weapon section at the end of that guide that I did yesterday, or no, the day before that, because yeah, weapons are kind of hard to get. Anyway, so the cool stuff is really in the form of just cool little vanity items. So first of all, I'm going to cover, I think, the most exciting item that has been added, and this item is the exquisite costume set, the Lich King. Basically, it transforms you into the Lich King. Now, while there was some initial confusion as to the price and number of charges, they have in fact issued a hotfix for this item, which means that it will have 50 charges with a duration of 20 seconds each, and it will only cost 500 rather than the initial 1000 that was appearing on people's clients. 1000 was ridiculous, it was very high, and Blizzard have, well, understood and issued the hotfix. So this is certainly something that will be obtainable. However, it is very, very expensive, and if you want to get this and maybe one or two other things, you'll have to make sure that you do all of the trick-or-treat things and all your daily quests throughout the holiday. Okay, so the other things that have been added are two new battle pets, and these are the Cursed Bearman and Widget the Departed. They're basically just spectral cats that you can get, and they cost 150 treats each. In addition to that, there are also 3 new things for your pugs. Now, these are costumes that essentially transform your pug into a kind of unique look. I've got to say, they're pretty darn cool, actually. So the added costumes are the Mad Alchemist, the Little Scarlet, and then also Yip Saron. Now, the first two cost 5 treats each, but then Yip Saron costs 150, so it really is quite expensive. I think these things are nice enough. They're not really groundbreaking, they're not particularly useful, but pugs are considered by many people to be extremely cute animals, and, hey, dressing them up with costumes is apparently a thing that people like. Personally, though, I kind of prefer cats. Anyway, let's move on to the other things that have been added, which are the consumable wand thingies. Now, there's a wand which will turn someone into a slime, one that'll turn them into a ghoul, then an abomination, a geist, and a spider. And that essentially covers it for the new Hallows End things. Of course, if you want a full guide in this, well, I just don't have the time to do one. I recommend either Wowhead or the Icy Veins guide. Just go to wowhead.com/icyveins.com and you'll find those. They're both excellent guides. Now that all that stuff's been covered though, I'm just going to talk about holiday events in general. So yesterday we found out in the developer interview that they will be adding new items and things like that to lots of the different holidays going on in Warlords of Draenor. Basically, they found some free time. Now, the first thing I want to say is that if, the changes are of this magnitude, then I don't really think it's enough. Like, yeah, some of these items are nice, and for the collectors, they're definitely great things to have in the game, but I don't think it's really enough. I would have liked some form of new gameplay, honestly. And maybe, if they are going to put items like that Lich King thing in, then really I'd say there should be some new, line of quests or something like that going on. I mean, hey, just how about they do a, story quest with each holiday? That maybe, the story quest could have, say, 5 parts, and you could just get a part every day or two or whatever, and then cruise your way through that. Maybe they could have some voice acting, just make it a cool little event that's kind of special and feels cool. Something like that would have been a bit more fun, maybe just something else mechanical rather than just, oh hey, we put in new things for you to buy, so go do that content again because, hey, you want things. Which I suppose is fine for the people who really do enjoy those vanity items, but I think for the majority of the player base, new mechanics would be a little bit more fun. Now, another thing that we found out in yesterday's interview is that they are planning, or at least trying to get it, so that your garrison could actually be decorated based on the current holiday. Again, I think that's a really cool feature, but yeah, maybe, it's just a cosmetic thing. in general, I'd like it if they added a bit more meat to the bones with some of these holiday events. Now, one event that they've actually done a really good job with is the Dark Moon Fair. You've got two main things that have been added, though. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure these were added to the beta, then removed, and Blizzard said they weren't going to make it in 6.0, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but they had, at least at one point, two different events. One of them involved flying around on a Firehawk and then flying through hoops, and that being kind of time trial based on how many hoops you could get in a certain amount of time. And then the other thing was a race. I'll throw some footage of that stuff into this video, but yeah, I'd really love it if they did more stuff like that for the various holidays. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.